now that I've hit the unmute button on Restream. All right. And center. Welcome back to Power to the Ground podcast on the Power to the Ground Motorsports Media Network. This is episode 6. We are going to talk about some of the action from round 14 and do a look forward at round 15. I don't want to take up too much of your time because I was talking very, very silently the first time around. For those of you watching this live, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. If there are any topics or questions that you have, go ahead and drop those in the comment section, and I will go through them at the end of the show. For those of you listening on audio, be sure to follow and subscribe to us on Facebook and YouTube, and whatever podcasting platform that you happen to be listening to us on. So let's jump into the shout outs so that you guys can actually hear the shout outs this time around. Let's start with Bro Taco Foods, and I'll go through this whole spiel. I know you guys probably saw me get really animated without any sound. It was probably really funny. First, number one, Bro Taco Foods. Head on over to brotacofoods.com, use the coupon code PTTG, and get 20% off your order. There's some great stuff happening over at Bro Taco Foods. Sean just put out for testing a BRAP dry rub. So it's all the stuff that he has in the BRAP sauce, all the pulp that he gets, he dehydrates and he turns it into a dry rub. This weekend, I will be testing that on a smoked brisket on the grill. So I will be sure to do some videos and some pictures of that and let you guys know how it goes. But in the meantime, you can head on over to Bro Taco Foods. You can grab yourself some pineapple hot sauce, some avocado hot sauce, and my favorite, the BRAP sauce, which is a honey habanero. Use coupon code PTTG for 20% off your entire order, and Sean will hook it up over there. And, of course, SUNSTAR Sprockets and Chains. Head on over to www.sunstar-braking.com. Hit up the email support, support email. Mention anything about Power to the Ground in the email, and Doug will hook you up. I know he said something about 30% off. Don't quote me on that, but he will hook you up nonetheless. And more about SUNSTAR after this. If you like what we are doing here on power2theground.com, or Facebook or YouTube, wherever you happen to be watching this or listening to it, you can head on over to our website. That is www.power2theground.com. Grab yourself some merch. Check out some of the stuff that we got going on over there. Any sales go directly back into the podcast to help make this better and keep it growing. Also, on the website, if you jump over to the homepage and scroll down just a little bit, you'll see a new section on the website because we just started a giveaway. It's a springtime gear giveaway. We are giving away two sets of SUNSTAR sprockets. So if you are getting all geared up to start riding this spring, summer, and fall, and you're looking for some new sprockets for your bike, or even if you just need a fresh pair, whatever it is, you can head over to the website, click on the little button that says click here to enter, or I can't remember what I put for the button, but you click there. It'll tell you subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast, blah blah blah, a bunch of stuff. It gives you total points. And then on April 30th, we will do a random drawing for the two winners of that those sets of SUNSTAR sprockets. And more news. Just a reminder, Doug and Tiller will be, well, we'll see how Doug's doing this Monday, but I know he's got some work to do tomorrow. But the plan is for Doug and Tiller to be on at 6:30 on Monday nights. The audio will be available on first thing Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning, so that you can catch up on all of the action for the review of this weekend's race. And they will go over all that. And this show, which you're watching it tonight on Wednesday, because this week is a crazy week. I had to push everything up a little bit because of birthdays. My wonderful little girl is turning 13. It's insane. So obviously there's that. I have a boat show, a bunch of work stuff. So I had to push it all up to today. And but if you're interested in following this show going forward, you can catch me on Fridays at noon. And then the audio will be available on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. So again, if there are any topics, any questions, anything like that you guys want me to cover, go ahead and drop those in the comment section, and I will circle back at the end of the show and address them. I'll probably say that a couple more times throughout the show, but let's jump into it now. So the first thing that I want to talk about, actually, you know what, before we jump into it, because I spent so much time setting this up earlier, I just want to show this off. Check this out. Doesn't work. Nope, never mind. Okay, I was going to show you my cool switcher, but I think my second camera turned off because it was on standby or something like that. So we'll save that for another time. I can hear people laughing at me from the other room. All right, so let's jump into this. First thing, and I'm sure the biggest news of the weekend, was Cameron Mcadoo. I was absolutely floored by the crash. It seemed absolutely vicious. I can't believe the guy is alive. If you didn't watch the races on Tuesday night, you missed a lot. There was quite a bit of drama. So if you're not familiar, Cameron Mcadoo, he came up short on a jump and then basically rode his front tire straight into the face of basically a wall jump, and got bent back in half backwards and got his foot stuck behind the front tire. And as the bike just whipped his, what looked like a lifeless body to me, up against the tabletop of that jump. And it was vicious. It was one of the worst crashes that I've seen in a long time. And I thought I saw him die. That's what I thought. I think a lot of people thought that too, because he laid there motionless for a while. But they put out the Red Cross flags, and they stopped the race and got him all taken care of. They put him through the concussion protocol, which I thought was absolutely insane. I couldn't believe that they were even considering putting him back out there, but he passed the concussion protocol, which I have no idea how that happened. He passed the concussion protocol, the race restarted, and without a number plate on the front of his bike, went out there. He started it, and I want to say he started the beginning of the race, like he was like third in the whole shot, and then he started making some moves. Unbelievable Herculean effort. He did the interview after the race. I think he ended up getting passed by Hunter at the end, I believe. Ended up taking third. But for him to even be walking was Herculean enough. Never mind getting on his bike, and then never mind taking a podium spot was absolutely ridiculous. It was the talk of the town. And then after the race, he did an interview, and you could see how much I can only imagine how much pain he's in today. He's got to be in a ton of pain. I was looking for an article for like an update on how he's doing, and I couldn't find anything. So if I missed something and you guys saw it, drop it in the comments. Let me know if you saw something that I didn't. But he looked like Frankenstein walking off the stage. It was crazy. So that was just unbelievable. So that was the 250 drama. Flash forward to, I'm not going to go over the results because there's just too much to go over, because I want to get into the preview. If you want the results, you can find them anywhere. For the 450 drama, however, in the heats, so A-Ray and Anderson were in the same heat, and there was one part of the track that had a rhythm section that was just tough. Everybody kept screwing up this one particular rhythm section, and if it was a triple was the main line going through that rhythm section, and if you missed any one of those triples, you kind of screwed yourself. And so A-Ray and Anderson are going through this rhythm section in one of the heats together at the same time, and Anderson misses one of these triples, so he has to double out, and A-Ray hits the main line, but he gets cross-rutted going over one of the triples. So they came together. A-Ray landed, like, flat out landed on Anderson, coming out of the rhythm section. And Anderson, rightfully so, was not happy. And Anderson ended up apologizing later on in the night. But he landed on Anderson. They both went down, obviously. And then Anderson gets up off of the ground, and it was almost a funny exchange, but I kind of felt bad for A-Ray. Anderson gets up just a bat out of hell, and he was obviously very angry. A-Ray was still on the ground and put up his hands in like a defensive gesture, and Anderson just came up to him and just gave him the business, and got back on his bike, yelled back a couple of things. They said they couldn't say what he was saying and on TV and keep their jobs. So I'm sure it was pretty colorful language. So Anderson gets back on his bike, and he doesn't make it through to the main. So he's got to go to the LCQ. Dominates the LCQ. He had like a 20-second lead on second place. And then goes into the main. Doesn't get a great start because he didn't get a great gate pick because he had to go into the LCQ. But he did make his way back, and he tore it up. And he put in some work. Definitely put in some work. He was, I know for a good part of that race, he was riding the fastest laps on the track. And maybe Tiller can go through and check me on that, but I'm pretty sure for the majority of the race he was running fast lap. But he had to work through traffic as well. Roxon had a great race. Sexton had a great race. And Cooper had an off day. He kind of he started skating backwards there for a little while. But that was about it for Atlanta. I'm going to talk a little bit about the track, just the Atlanta whole atmosphere as a whole here in a second. But if there are any topics that you want me to go over, or if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, go ahead and drop it in the comments section, and I will circle back to it at the end of the broadcast. So to the tracks at Atlanta, I would show I show the trailer, but because of YouTube and copyrights, the last time I did that, I had the episode pulled down until I cut that part of the stream out. So we'll just leave it as is for right now. The tracks are awesome. I absolutely love the speedway tracks. I hope that hope what we're seeing is an evolution of Supercross. I think me, Doug, and Tiller have talked about this a couple of times. There are speedway tracks all over this country. They should be using them. Just the amount of space that they have to work with instead of just like a sports arena changes the game completely. It allows them to do more within the track without having to sacrifice because of space. So I'm really looking forward to this. The Daytona track was awesome. Both of the tracks here in Atlanta so far have been awesome, and I have no reason to believe that it will be otherwise on Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to watching them race again on the speedway on Saturday. And because I'm feeling spoiled by what they've done here in Atlanta, I'm really not looking forward to Salt Lake that much. I'll just be totally honest. I'm not looking forward to them going back into confined spaces again after they've had all of this free range space to work with at these speedways. So that's take it or leave that one. I'd like to know what you guys think. Do you like the stadium, the stadium look, or do you like the speedway, the speedway tracks that we've seen so far? Let me know in the comments if you guys have any thoughts, or could take it or leave it either way. I've enjoyed the speedway tracks so much more. In fact, the one on last night almost felt like an outdoor track. There was roller sections in there. Not to mention parts of the track that were so long that they were getting up to like 60 miles an hour going through roller sections there. It's just way more fun to watch because of everything that they can, all the space that they can work with. So let's jump into we'll look at the standings going into the round 14, or is it 15? 14. Let me pull them up here so we can take a look. Stands 250. All right, so starting for one spot, you've got had in Atlanta too. I didn't think Justin Cooper was going to perform very well on such a fast track, but he proved me wrong. He handled it very well at really good speeds. So Cooper is in your number one spot with 157 points. Cameron Mcadoo with the save, man. We'll have to see if he gets out there, because he did not look like he was feeling good at the end of the race. But the fact that he finished that out, he's still in the number 2 spot with 148 points, because he pulled that podium out. That was, you do crazy things when you're in the hunt, man. And then Hunter Lawrence in your number 3 spot with 141 points. And then it falls off dramatically after that with to the number 4 spot. You've got Jalik Swoll with 121 points, who is matched by Seth Hamaker with also 121 points. And Marchbanks in your number 6 spot with 120. Thrasher in your number 7 spot with 101. Thrasher had a pretty good night again. I can't even remember where he finished. But it's a pretty tight race. Between the top three, I think everybody is mathematically, the top three at least are still mathematically in this. So fun stuff to watch. We'll keep watching there, and then we'll jump over to the 450s going into round 14, still with the red number plate after the off week or off round. Cooper Webb with 313. K-Rock closes the gap. He got 313 points down from Coop. And then Eli Tomac, who had a day for Tomac. He is in your number 3 spot with 278. Barsha in your number 4 spot with 246. Plessinger in your number 5 with 215. Anderson knocking at the door on Plessinger with 211. Mookie in the number 7 spot with 193. Ferrandis in the number 8 with 183. Muscan, who had a pretty good night, at least at the beginning of the race. We got shuffled back a little bit with 168. Savachi, who surprisingly also rode pretty well with 166 points. And that is your top 10. Malcolm had a pretty rough start. He got shuffled back in the whole shot, and he lost his bike. He threw it at Anderson, I believe. Anderson had to ride off the track because Mookie's bike got thrown at him. So lots of drama all over the track, but it was really fun to watch. So I am going to go through. I don't have a track for this Saturday yet, so I can't say. I'm assuming it's going to be a really fast track. I bet there's going to be sand. I bet there's going to be at least 2 whoop sections. One of them may be more of like a roller section. I don't know. I bet that I didn't like about this past track. We'll see what they do with it. Is there was a lot of wall jumps that kind of broke track up a little bit. I'd like to see some of those taken out so that they can keep speed. But so I will base my picks for Saturday off the assumption that the track will be at least relatively similar to what we saw on Tuesday. So, I'm not going to count out Cooper. It's too late in the season. There's too much pressure on everybody. And when there's pressure on everybody, Coop is the one that rises to the occasion. So I'm going to go ahead and put Cooper Webb in my number 1 spot for the 450s. For you guys watching out there, I don't know who's still there, but drop your top 450, your top 3 in the 450 in the comments. I want to see how you guys are feeling about this. So I got Coop. You know what? I think this is going to go as it runs in the points. I think that's exactly how Atlanta 3 is going to go. Cooper Webb, number 1. Ken Roxon, number 2. Eli Tomac, number 3. I don't see Eli going out and putting himself at risk for a season that's really gotten away from him. That wouldn't be logical. And he seems like a guy who's got a long-term vision. And I just don't think he's going to go out there and push too hard to take a number. If it presents itself, he'll take it, but I don't think he's going to go out of his way to take it. So I'll say that I'll, I'll be very brave and just say that they fall as they are in the points. Webb, Roxon, Tomac. Those are my picks for the 450s in Atlanta 3. Now, for the 250s, I'm going to change it up. I am not going to put Mcadoo in the top 3. Whether he races or not, there's no way after that crash and how sore he looked after that race. He finished that way because he was living on adrenaline. He had to have just had pure adrenaline running through his veins. And that's what pushed him to the end. And you could see the adrenaline wearing off in his interview. So I cannot put Mcadoo in the top 3. I think he's going to, if he does race, he's going to be in too much pain to be up there in the top. But after what I saw from Justin Cooper, I can't take him off to that top step. So I'm going to leave Justin Cooper in the number 1 spot. I'm going to put Hunter Lawrence in the number 2 spot. And then I'm going to put Nate Thrasher in my number 3 spot. So Cooper, Lawrence, Thrasher, 1, 2, and 3 for your 250 in Atlanta 3. Let me pull up my notes here. So before I go through all of these comments, that is pretty much the wrap up for the look forward. Unless you guys want to hang out and have a little bit of a conversation in the comments here. Don't forget to check out the giveaway on the website after we're done here. If you have any questions, comments, topics that you want me to cover before we jump off, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. So I will run through here. Trace, yes, Bro Taco does rock. That is facts. No sound on YouTube. This is when everybody, if you're listening to this audio, it's people are saying no sound because I did probably a solid 3 minutes with absolutely no sound on at the beginning of this broadcast. So this is the my second run through. Doug says, what's up? So Doug crashed this past weekend. He had a gnarly crash. He's getting a plate put in his wrist. So let's all wish Doug a good luck in the on the table tomorrow. Tiller says, where's my dry rub beta test sign up link? Hit up Sean, Tiller. I don't know, man. We can hash this out. Let's get it. Doug says, stay classy. Indeed. And then Doug had to go eat. Let's talk a little bit more about Mcadoo. My dad says here, he's a gladiator to get back on and still race. 100%. Like, I don't care if it was straight up adrenaline. I don't care. That was absolutely insane. The fact that he's even, I watched it in slow motion on YouTube earlier today. And so on YouTube, if you didn't know, if you're watching on YouTube and you hit the little gear, it'll say playback speed, and you can put it down to 25%. So it'll slow it down. It looks like slow motion. So find Mcadoo's crash on YouTube, put it at 25%, and just watch it. It is unbelievable. He goes face first into the jump with the bike behind him. His feet are behind the pegs. So he gets bent in half backwards on the face of the jump. and then his foot springs forward, gets caught behind the front tire in the forks, and the bike rotates forward, and at the same time slingshots him because he's stuck in the forks, slingshots him and just face plants right on the top of the jump. It was absolutely insane, and I can't even believe it. Can't believe it. My dad says for his top 3, he's got Roczen, Webb, Tomac. It's a solid choice. I could see it going in either direction there. I don't think that Webb is going to push very hard. He will manage the championship. That's possible too, but I hope he does than he did last night, because managing it the way he did last night's not going to cut it. He will go ahead and manage himself right out of first place. And we got a good luck, Doug. So that being said, that's the last comment here. We'll wrap it up. Again, don't forget to head over to jump over here. Don't forget to jump over to www.power2theground.com. Right there on the homepage, you'll find a link to the giveaway. We are giving away 2 sets of SUNSTAR sprockets. Click that. Gives you a bunch of choices for entries to enter into it. Do as many of them as you can, because the more points that you get, the higher the likelihood that you are a winner. So jump on over there, do that. You can enter for a chance to win a set of SUNSTAR sprockets for your bike or off-road vehicle. And that's it. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to share this episode with somebody, and please consider heading over to the website, grab yourself some merch, help us grow this thing. That is it for episode 68 in the books. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys next week on Friday at noon. That's it for episode 68. I'll see you next week.